Kids, I know you love to visit museums, but did you know that museums are political? Not only museums of today, but also museums in the past. So, let me tell you the story about heritage politics and museums during the Japanese occupation era in Indonesia in the year 1942 to 1945. During the Dutch colonial era, there were approximately 25 museums established throughout present-day Indonesia. The museums were mostly founded by the Europeans and intended for the European purposes, for instance, as a tool for colonialism. However, the fate of those museums during the Japanese occupation era in 1942 to 1945 are slightly known and less discussed. Thus, this research examines the historical development of museums in Indonesia during the Japanese occupation period that was unknown before. At the end, this research revealed that museums during the Japanese occupation era, particularly museums in Java, were strongly used by the Japanese as political tools. This research is conducted through archival research. I studied the archive of Arsip Nasional Indonesia in Jakarta, particularly the archive of Koninklijk Batavia's Genootschap and Java Institute Museum Sonobudoyo. Then, I also collected news regarding museums from newspapers and magazines published in Japanese occupation period. The magazine is Jawa Baru, while the newspapers are Suara Asia, Asia Raya, Sinar Matahari, Sinar Baru, and Cahaya. Rumor has it that during the Japanese occupation period, museums were closed and looted. It is also widely believed that the Japanese military government did not build any museums during their reign. In fact, although some colonial museums were permanently closed, most of them are survived up to the present day. However, as written sources are only provided information regarding museums in Java. Therefore, what had happened to museums outside Java during the occupation are remain unknown. In Java, although at first museums were closed, it were then reopened, run as usual, and used as the Japanese political tools and propaganda. Articles on Japanese era newspapers regarding museums reveal that the idea that museums should encourage the feeling of anti-colonialism. Museums should also increase the self-esteem of the Indonesian people through organizing talks and exhibiting the grandeur of pre-colonial history and heroes. This concept is entangled with the Japanese political propaganda on the idea of Greater East Asia co-prosperity sphere. The first political approach that the Japanese did in museum sector was to change the names of the museums and the labels from Dutch language to Indonesian language. For instance, the name of Oud Batavia Museum was changed into Museum Betawi Lama or Museum Sejarah Jakarta Lama. The Zoologist Museum and Laboratorium in Buitenzorg, present-day Bogor, was also called Museum Hewan, while the labels of Museum Sonobudoyo in Jogja were translated into Indonesian language. The second approach was to change museums' ticket price that used to be based on one's race into flat price for all Asians. It was intended to show politically that all Asians were equal. During the Dutch colonial era, Sonobudoyo Museum's ticket price was 25 cents for Europeans and foreign Orientals, while the price for the native was 5 cents. During the occupation period, the ticket of Sonobudoyo Museum in Jogja was 5 cents for all adult Asians and 2.5 cents for children. As for the Radia Pustaka Museum in Solo, the new ticket price for all Asians was 2 cents. The museum high-rank officials that were usually Dutch were also changed into Japanese and or Indonesian people. At the time, Dutch curators were interned in camps. However, due to political situation, the Germans or Indo-Germans were allowed to continue their works in museums and even newly appointed as museum workers. For example, Dr. von Koningswald, a Dutch-German paleontologist and geologist, who was appointed to work at the Geologisch Museum in Bandung, although the museum was led by a Japanese geologist. Von Faber, a German descent who was the founder of the Provincial and Stedelijk Historisch Museum Surabaya, was also appointed as the head of the Provincial Museum Oost Java, while the Stedelijk Historisch Museum Surabaya was allowed to remain open. F.C. Drescher, a 68 years old Indo-German who was also an insect collector, was also appointed to work at the Zoologist Museum in Bogor, and he brought along his collections for the museum. People was also encouraged to visit museums in order to increase knowledge, admirations, and pride of Indonesia. Museums such as Radia Pustaka in Solo was also organized courses and talks regarding Japanese culture. Therefore, I argue that museums which in the previous era were associated with the higher class colonial society, were used as a tool for propaganda to inspire and promote a sense of belonging of young Indonesians from the upper class society, the one who experienced Western education. Besides, the Japanese also established museum for their propaganda purposes. It was the Jawa Sakusen Kinen Shiryo Hozonsho, also known as Museum Peringatan Perang di Jawa or the Java War Memorial Museum. It was located within the former Villa Isola Bandung and established by the Department of Propaganda in 1943. Its purpose was to show anti-colonialism, particularly to illustrate the victory of the Dai Nippon Army against the Dutch East Indies Army in Java. Due to the political situation, the Japanese military government also maintained good relationship with the Islamic religious leaders. Therefore, the Japanese supported Sekolah Guru Muhammadiyah when the school established a museum within their school building in Jogja. The establishment of this museum was extraordinary because it was founded by Indonesians during the Japanese occupation period. It exhibited cap from Persia, lontar manuscript from Java and Bali, spears from Papua, and other ethnographic objects from Kalimantan and Sulawesi. It also exhibited Cendrawasih feather, also known as the birds of paradise, starfish, and camel's fur. To conclude, during the Japanese occupation era, museums in Java that were established during the previous reign were intertwined with the political situation of that era. The Japanese military government established new museums, and both the old and the new museums were performed as a tool for Japanese political propaganda, particularly to support the idea of Greater East Asia Co-Prosperity Sphere, intended mainly to inspire the Indonesian upper class society. So, do you have any questions, kids?